Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. You can also open up your free account today with Caleb and Brown by going to xrpwealth589.com. xrpwealth589.com. Just a couple quick reasons here. Number one, multiple layers of security, as anyone would expect. Then you have also institutional grade custody, no charge, no hidden fees, no spreads, one flat rate, and human customer service. And this is something that up until now you can't get anywhere else. And for that alone, I am starting to get the best night's sleep I've ever had since I've been in crypto. This is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a massive response from the audience. And they're loving it too. And you will. So make sure you give it a try. xrpwealth589.com and start getting the best night's sleep you've ever had. $3.4 trillion market cap for crypto. The market may be off 1.9%, but I think we're poised for greatness. Bitcoin 105,000 plus, Ethereum 2,500 plus, XRP is 217. Now we're off 0.1 on the 24, and we're off 4% on the 7-day. The range of price very quickly here between 216 and 217. Now, this is normally the way we see XRP trading in a very, very tight spread. So there's nothing happening in the market currently in the moment. But remember, the reminder is that Tuesday on June 17th, we are to witness the passing of the Genius Act on the Senate floor. Then we see this. It's a slavery system. I want you to listen to the first minute or so of this clip. We won't play the whole thing. In fact, I'll play the whole thing because it's worth hearing in the Freedom Zone, along with some other content that I have today. But take a listen to the first few seconds here.
We're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new accounting is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. We are shifting.
It really does. And you know what? And again, I'll play the rest of this clip in the Freedom Zone along with some other content to go along with it. But then we follow this because there is a new system coming. The leader of the central bank in Greece said this last week. Nobody is happy about what is going on in economic policy and trade policy in the U.S. But if it continues, I'm afraid the dollar will lose some of its status. It is a new world. Then this. Vietnam's entry into BRICS cements the bloc's rise as a global powerhouse, expanding its partner network to 10 nations and accelerating momentum for systemic financial realignment. This is growing. And again, I had this conversation on stage again this year with the Honorable Christian Carlo, where we talked exclusively about BRICS and the potential and the power and the systemic financial realignment going on in the world today. The United States doesn't have the choice or luxury to sit back and just idly watch this happen. And thank goodness with this new administration, they're not doing that. But then we add this inside our borders. JPM Morgan, Bank of America, and TD Bank report breaches compromising customer data. This is including names, social security numbers, and account numbers. And I say this will be cited as one of the many reasons why the banks will switch to blockchain systems. This is one of the many reasons. And then where will they switch to? Well, Ripple is advertising right in Times Square. How about that one? How about that one? They're not doing this for nothing. Who has been more restricted in the United States than any other state? It's New York. Why is that? Because that's where all the money is. Yeah, things are changing, ladies and gentlemen. Just like we know the connection between Swift, Citibank, and Ripple. You see it right here. We've played the clip a million times, but you don't need to hear the clip. You need to know it's Pega Saltani from Ripple. It's Kalania Battaglia from Swift. It's Ryan Rugg from Citibank. And guess what else? It's Citibank that tells us they're using Medico for custody. Come on in. Yes, that's what's happening. Citi has been actively working with Ripple for years, building private ledgers for tokenized bank deposits and cross-border instant transfers. Citi has integrated Medico as a liquidity hub and custody service and connects to BRICS as well. And BRICS is getting bigger every day. And Ripple's smack dab in the middle of it, starting with the foundational block of custody. Then the reminder that here we're going to see FedWire and ISO 20022 take a shift and integrate this. This is the standard we're moving to. You all know where we're going here. The signs are on the wall, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is here. We're seeing everything come together here. All of this is happening, what? And we're getting stablecoin legislation on Tuesday, and we're supposed to have the market infrastructure bill on the desk of the president passed as well by August, or certainly by the end of the year. That's why I believe we're seeing all of this take place. The Financial Stability Board comes in now and warns cryptocurrency is nearing a tipping point towards systemic risk. Oh, really? Systemic risk, huh? Oh, systemic risk equals systemically important. You don't think so? Do you think the XRP ledger would be considered systemically important once we see all the world's money on the ledger? Because I do. How important is the XRP ledger once you see USDC, real USD, XSGD, EuroP, EuroCV, Brazilian Real, and every other country's dollars on the ledger? Is it systemically important then? I think so. I think so at some point. And what would it mean, ladies and gentlemen? What would it mean for the IPO of Ripple? Would it mean that Ripple could break records with a 30 billion plus valuation, which would give it a record-breaking IPO valuation? I think it could even be higher. I mean, we're not even talking about the fact that Ripple doesn't count XRP escrow on its books. Now, they put it at zero. Brad Garlinghouse told us that a long time ago. And the reality there is you have to start wondering, is that because they didn't want any legal issues to be more complicated than they already were while dealing with the SEC case? Or could it be that a lot of that escrow is already pre-allocated with option contracts to other countries and governments, just like it was allocated in an option contract pre-allocated to R3? You know, this is the stuff that I get so excited about, because now we're getting to a place where all of the speculation, for one, has proven in a macro sense to be dead on the money. We're seeing U.S. Treasuries being tokenized on the XRP ledger right before our eyes. That is the entire debt of the United States beginning to be tokenized on the XRP ledger. Make no mistake about it. That's what that is the beginning of. That is the start of that. And is there any greater thing that could be brought onto the XRP ledger to validate the ledger? I don't think so. Then you start asking yourself, well, with all the world's stablecoins and CBDCs beginning to represent and show proliferation onto the XRP ledger, ask yourself, is it hard to believe that XRP could go to 4 or 5 digits? Bitcoin doesn't offer that. And I'm not knocking Bitcoin. I'm just saying Bitcoin can't offer that. So what is the value of a network that can offer that? That's what I'm asking. And is it so hard to believe that Ripple could set a new record for an IPO valuation? Is it so hard to believe that XRP can make its way to 4 and 5 digits? I don't think these things are hard to believe at all. Of course, I didn't think they were hard to believe when it was 13 cents, 11 cents. I think it's even more meaningful now because we're seeing the United States government embrace this innovation and technology, and not only embrace it, but they're about to build it out into an official asset class. And they'll do that by launching the spot ETFs as well soon. And they'll do that, I believe, by also issuing U.S. digital asset bonds for XRP and others. And that is going to change the game forever. Why? Because it will be an official endorsement by the U.S. government for the protocols that they make bonds for. That's why. Steph's Crypto says the XRP Bollinger bands are extreme tight range right now. Huge move is loading up. You can see the last time the bands got tight like that, we had a pop. Yeah, well, I'm looking for another pop. Bring it on. I'm down. I know you are too. Eggrag Crypto says, you know what? He's down. And that Guardian Arch to $27, he's still down with that too. And so am I, like a boss. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into the freedom zone. It's not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I hope you will join us. We're going to get into this in a much deeper way inside of here. And we're starting right now. Come on in. All right.